Welcome to Finding Reliable Sources in the Library Databases. Today, I'll be going over some of the databases that are very handy for you as you're doing reports and research for some of your high school projects. The first thing we're going to start with is your assignment question. So we're going to start with a kind of easy one to work with at first. Just a simple biographical question. Who is Margaret Thatcher? So our keywords here are going to be simply Margaret Thatcher. So let's go to our first database that we're going to be using. Today we're going to be using the New York Public Library. And because you live in New York State, you all have access to this wonderful library with lots of databases. And so first off, what we're going to do is click on Research. We are at the NYPL, so you're following along on your laptops while we're doing this presentation. And you're going to click on Research. And then from there, we're going to go to Articles and Databases. And because we're looking for biography information, we're going to just click on the B. And there's a great database that I want to show you. And it is called Biography in Context, if I can find it. We're not there yet. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we're going to click on Biography in Context. This is where you're going to put your library card number and your PIN number, and you're going to just log in. Okay, so this is a Gale biography. It's a Gale database, which we're going to be using 2 of those today. So you'll get used to the format. They give suggestions for you, but since we know what our topic is, we're going to go ahead and put that in here in our search bar. Okay, so we have Margaret Thatcher. And you'll see some nice information comes up right off the bat about her. If you don't know anything about her, you can read a nice synopsis right here. Okay, so you'll notice that we have different boxes here on this page. So we have biographies are listed here, some feature content, different sources down here. We even have some audio, academic journals. We're going to be looking at those, magazines, and even some videos. So lots of information on Margaret Thatcher or anybody else you're looking at in biographies. One thing I like about this, I wanted to point out on the page here, is that it lists the number of sources in each category. So academic journals 23, biographies 10. So you get the idea there. So let's go ahead and start right off with the biographies. So you can see here there's 10. They only have 3 listed here. So let's just go ahead and click on biographies. And there are the 10 biographies that they promised us. Now, if you're wondering what these little symbols are here next to the names, it gives you the content level. So we have the orange box is intermediate. If you see a red triangle, that is advanced. I'm not sure what an easy one would look like. If it's anything like skiing, maybe it will be a green circle. But we'll hopefully see one of those later on. Okay, so while you're looking at your biographies, you can see it tells you where the biography is from and the year it was published. Over here, it will also tell you if it's a brief biography or if it's a full-length biography. So let's pick one here. This sounds interesting. Historic World Leaders. So let's click on that. And it gives you just some basic, real quick information up there. But you can see occupation. She was the Prime Minister of Britain. And lots of information about Margaret Thatcher. So this looks, just at a first glance, looks like something if I'm writing a paper on Margaret Thatcher, this may be handy to me. I'm going to want to look a bit more into that. So what I'm going to do is save this to my folder. So I'm just going to put that in my folder for right now. It tells me it's been added. And I'm going to go back. I'd like to get at least 2 good biography sources. So I'm going to look for another one. Encyclopedia World Biography is good. So I think I'll pick that. And it tells me again more about her. And so this looks like it'll be another good source. So I'm going to add that to my folder. Alrighty, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to get out of the biography section, and I would like to go down to the academic journals. Here it said there's 23, so let's see what those look like. Okay, you'll notice we have a few more red triangles here. Academic journals do tend to be scholarly in nature. Not that what we were previously looking at wasn't, but they do tend to be definitely more meaty. The vocabulary may be a little bit more difficult. Nothing that you guys can't handle, though. So don't let those red triangles intimidate you. But let's take a look and see. I'm just looking for journals that I would like to look at. Also, of course, titles. You can see over here there's essays, articles. I'm kind of looking for articles, not really essays. And so I think I am interested in, this looks interesting, change in the British Conservative Party is a bit older, and I am not seeing the full text. So that brings up a very good point. Let's go back here and see if we can limit our search so that I can get just full text. I know there's a way to do that earlier on, but I don't know if at this point if we can do that or not. Subjects. So we will keep going and see if we can find a full text article. This sounds interesting. One about Ronald Reagan and Thatcher. And let's try that one. Okay, so this looks like this would be a good one to learn more about. So I'm going to save that to my folder. Okay, so now that you have 3 items saved to your folder, you can go up here and you can open your folder. And here are 3 items. Some nice things that you can do with your folder: if you select your items, whatever you select, then you have some more options. You can download them. You can email them to yourself. So say if you're at the library computer, you can just send these to yourself. Or if you choose to print them, you can print them. This citation tools is very handy if you want to click on that. this is currently citing. This is how I would put these articles in my biography in my paper. And this is according to the MLA edition, which probably you guys will be using that. So you can see the different ways it will help you format. But you do still need to check it over, because sometimes there may be punctuation where there shouldn't be, or capitals where there should not be. So don't completely trust it, but it is helpful to have that there. And so that's your citation tool. Okay, so very good. So let's back out if we can. Well, let us go back. Let's go back to the New York Public Library. Okay, so we're back to databases. I'm going to give you a new topic to try. Your next topic will be, how did the Berlin Wall affect East Germany? So again, before you start your research, you want to pick your main themes, your topics, your keywords. So in this topic, we're going to be looking up our keywords. Of course, are going to be Berlin Wall and East Germany. Okay, so let's go to our library databases again. This time we're going to use a different database, and I'd like you to pick the A, and we are going to go to Academic OneFile, which is a database that you guys will be using a lot, and so we're going to try that out today. It's another Gale database, so it will look familiar to you. And we were saying this time we have a bit more lengthy topic. As you remember, how did the Berlin Wall affect East Germany? So we have two phrases here, Berlin Wall and East Germany. So we're going to, since we have phrases, we want to keep those words together when the computer is searching the database for us. So we will put them in quotes. So Berlin Wall and East Germany. Okay, so now it's going to keep those two phrases together as it's searching, and it's going to search for both because we're using this and term, a Boolean term and. You can use and, we can use or we can use not. But in this case, we want both, so we're going to use and. All right, let's see what we get here. Okay, looking over here, we have a lot of results returned. So let's limit those down. Last time we didn't use all of our limiters. We're going to use some this time. Let's limit to only things that are full text. And let's limit things to just peer-reviewed journals. And so those are scholarly journals that have people that are in the field, very knowledgeable, and they are critiquing whether the article is good enough to be published in a journal. So very reputable sources for you. Okay, so we still have quite a few here. So let's try limiting one more time. Let's limit by a date range. Okay, so they give you some options, but let's have a little bit more of an option. Let's give a 3-year option. So 2014, let's say March 1st. And let's give it to March 31st of 2017. Okay, here we go. All right, so that definitely helped narrow it down a bit. So hopefully we can find some things that we're happy with. So let's take a look. I'm actually going to just click on here so we get just the articles. All right. Okay, looking for something that is going to be relevant to the Berlin Wall and East Germany. And let's see, this looks interesting. Let's see what this one says. Alrighty. So this is from World Affairs. Gives you the published date. Let's see, this looks like this may be worth looking more into. So I'm going to put this in my folder. Okay, let's go back. See if we can find at least one other article. We may have to expand our search if we don't find exactly what we're looking. A lot of your searching is going to be just trial and error. You can't break the database, so just keep trying until you find information that is what you're really looking for. Okay, so I'm actually going to expand my search. I'm going to make my dates. I'm going to take my date limiter back out because I'm not quite seeing what I want. So let's go back. There we go. Okay. All right, so this expanded my what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to find where my dates went. Publication title. I'm going to go back again because I don't see where it's giving me the option. Let's see, can we change? Here it is up here. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we got rid of our date selector. So obviously it gave us a lot more choices, but we still have the full text in here. And I'm going to just focus on articles. And let's pick something that we can use. This sounds like this might be kind of interesting. Informal groups in revolutionary mobilization, East Germany, 1989. So we will go with that one for the case of today. As you can see, sometimes doing research does take time, but that's okay because you're going to learn lots, and just allow yourself time because when you get into it, it might take more time than you originally think. Okay, so let's go to our folder, just check to see if it's there, and it is there. Okay, so we've just taken a look at 2 databases out of many, many options at the New York Public Library. So what I'm going to have you do next is an activity, but let's take a little break before that.